Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto Naruto Next Generations discussion on the fallout from Boruto Chapter 76, in particular the cliffhanger ending that we got with Momoshiki being called out by Kawaki, and there's a major setup that we need to discuss. So, as I said in my review, I did think there was a possibility that Kawaki would begin asking Momoshiki questions about the Otsutsuki clan, and that conversation would ultimately be what starts the process of sending Boruto and Kawaki down different paths. Boruto, in the sense of Momoshiki, is going to take over his body like he said he would do, and there might be blowback to the fact that Boruto's keeping the idea that he's sharing a brain with Momoshiki's secret. But with Kawaki, I thought that he'd ask questions about the Otsutsuki clan to verify stuff Amato might have been leaving out. However, one thing that one of you guys said in the comment section, you dropped an observation that I had not considered, which is that Kawaki is about to be given his true reason for wanting the Shinobi world to be destroyed during this conversation. And if that sounds odd to you, I'd highly suggest that you wait to hear what this viewer said, because I do think there's enough meat here to this new Boruto fan theory that it might actually have cracked Kawaki's motivations, which is the one thing we've all asked ourselves for years now, which is why would Kawaki seemingly turn on Naruto and Konoha? Well, this viewer has a really good guess in my opinion. So according to them, they say Kawaki is going to become disillusioned by the Shinobi world because of the Otsutsuki origins. He said if you look back to the roots of the world problems and all the conflicts, everything ultimately traces back to the Otsutsuki. So in order to rid the world from the Otsutsuki, Kawaki's going to eliminate everything tied to them, including ninjutsu. So I definitely think this is where there is some meat to this theory, but it's going to take some unpacking in order to make sense of what he's getting at. So over the last 20 chapters, we've seen Kawaki's hatred for the Otsutsuki grow, and it's grown a lot. And in the last chapter, one thing that I saw consistently in the comment section was not only how impressed people were with the logic behind Kawaki's words and his quick observations, but also the fact that he's now moved on from his focus of hating karma to the point of now hating the Otsutsuki clan itself, and that he's showing some of those quick signs that Sasuke did, where Sasuke wasn't wrong, but due to the lack of information and foresight, he was misguided, he was manipulated, and going about things in the wrong way played a huge role in Sasuke's character development. Well, taking that same layer with Kawaki, this is where that fan theory comes into play. Kawaki hates all things Otsutsuki clan related right now, which ironically also includes himself, since he is Otsutsuki genetically. If he does indeed begin talking and asking Momoshiki questions about the Otsutsuki, as I've been predicting, Kaguya is inevitably gonna come up in the mention, and that's gonna be huge. Momoshiki knows that Kaguya came to Earth. Kawaki knows that as well. He knows that she betrayed Ishiki. He knows that she ate the chakra fruit, but Kawaki doesn't know she gave birth to two half-children. He doesn't know that Hagoromo Otsutsuki, the sage of six paths, and Otsutsuki founded Ninshu, which is the precursor to ninjutsu, and he's considered to be the god of the shinobi because he shared and taught the basics of chakra with humans in the hopes of connecting people together. But as we all know, people turned those teachings into killing methods that we know as ninjutsu. Momoshiki knows all this to be the case because when he came to Earth, he was brought up to speed on what happened when Kaguya came here, falling in love with a human, having half-breed children, being betrayed by those children, why the Biju, these large lumps of chakra, were roaming around free, why humans had chakra, and etc. Momoshiki could very well point out the hypocrisy of Kawaki here. He hates all things Otsutsuki, yet he lives in a ninja village and basically worships / is obsessed with a Hokage whose very power comes from the Otsutsuki itself, and the techniques and the way of life of the ninja village that he's living inside of ultimately is made possible by the Otsutsuki clan, which is ninjutsu and chakra. Those clans never gain the power they need in order to be such formidable forces. The Senju and the Uchiha, the descendants of Hagoromo's children, never become standouts powerful enough to form the first ninja village by making other clans in the Land of Fire fall in line and band together and force the other ninja villages in the other countries to form as a response. That will line up what we learned in the chapter prior to this. Remember how Sarada got so pissed off when she learned that all ninjutsu was described as being a cheap imitation of Shinju? ninjutsu, which oddly enough pissed off a lot of Boruto readers, even though it was something that shouldn't have pissed you off given the origins of ninjutsu to begin with. I do think that that was laying groundwork, because while we as fans knew about the Sage of Six Paths and the origins of chakra and ninjutsu in the Shinobi world, it's important to remember that dramatic irony exists, which is that it's something when we as readers or viewers know something that the characters don't, which is one of the downsides to having such a younger cast. There are going to be things that they get introduced to that they don't know that we as readers know because we followed the original series, and this will be one of those times. Taking it a step further, looking at the writing for Kawaki, we've seen the signs that he wasn't going to embrace ninjutsu in the way of the Shinobi entirely. Long before we saw him clash against Team 7 in their sparring match, where he flat out said that the way of Kara and Jigen was better than all this Shinobi stuff, when he first began training with Naruto. Remember how Naruto kept telling Kawaki to break himself from relying on his ninja tech and instead rely on his chakra? One of the core themes about Boruto has been, can science and ninjutsu coexist in a world created by ninja? Kawaki was born the son of an abusive father who was also a standout shinobi, but when we were formally introduced to him in manga format, he was introduced as a cyborg, a human whose body's been enhanced by science via Mado's ninja tech. He's shown in the manga to rely on that ninja tech more than anything else, despite sparingly using ninja techniques like fireball jutsu and shadow clones and etc. But the idea that Kawaki eventually casts aside ninja abilities and relies on his ninja tech and the powers of the karma, it's not the craziest thing to think about. If anything, we've seen the groundwork for this to be set. Ninja tech has always been the silent antagonist of Part 1 Boruto, despite Naruto and Sasuke in both the manga and the novels believing that not only can these two things coexist, but the shinobi of the future will be able to use the two hand in hand, with shinobi not forsaking ninjutsu and using ninja tech as a way to improve their ninjutsu without forsaking ninjutsu altogether. Essentially think of it like this. I'm going to use a car reference for you. Chakra-based ninjutsu and abilities is the engine of the car. Ninja tech is the supercharger that is bolted on top of the engine in order to get more power for the car itself. Ninja tech is a supercharger. Ninjutsu is the engine. Ninja tech is going to make the ninjutsu even stronger. In the Momoshiki arc, Boruto saw ninja tech as a shortcut. In the Vessel arc, he learned that the ninja tech had practical uses like Naruto and Sasuke tried to tell him, but he saw what happened when you forsake the way of the shinobi for the power that comes via ninja tech through his interactions in battle with Ao. He saw firsthand what it was that Naruto and Sasuke were trying to drive home in the manga and in the light novels. In the Kawaki arc, through meeting Kawaki and fighting against Kara, he saw that not everyone who uses ninja tech is evil in the form of Kawaki. There are definite shades of gray there, but through fighting against Kara, he saw what happens when you depend too much on ninja tech altogether. This conversation with Momoshiki could be what further transitions Kawaki towards moving away from the way of the shinobi. It would explain why he potentially went as far as to destroy the village itself, destroying the Hokage monument, a major symbol in the ninja world, due to the fact that narratively the Hokage has always been the strongest of the 5 Kage. Destroying Konoha and a landmark like that sends the message loud and clear that the age of the shinobi is over, and it's just childish enough that really and truly it gives him a backdoor path towards getting redeemed, just as was the case for Sasuke. It took Sasuke getting more information to begin getting back onto that proper path, and then it required getting the stubbornness beaten out of him by Naruto and him being beaten into submission by Naruto. Kawaki going down a similar path makes a lot of sense because he's on the opposite side of Boruto. Just as Boruto had to learn that ninja tech isn't bad, it just depends on how you use it, and is starting to see what Naruto and Sasuke and Kakashi in the novels had said about science and ninja tech. The shinobi of the future will learn to blend the two of them together, something we see people like Denki attempting to do in the anime. Kawaki will learn that despite chakra and ninjutsu and so many things of the ninja coming from an Otsutsuki, he too will learn that it depends on how it's used. But the knee-jerk reaction is, I hate all things Otsutsuki, and learning that an Otsutsuki found it the way of the shinobi might be something that has this boy in his feelings no matter how irrational it is. I do think this viewer is on to something here with this theory. I'll go as far as to say not only is this potentially in the right neighborhood, but this is on the right street and might even be in possession of the right address in terms of how close it is to the destination that the story's headed. Ideas like this, that's why I love reading you guys' comments. Not just the Patreon fan theories, not just some of the stuff you guys send me on IG or Twitter, because a lot of times the comment section has good stuff in it, and it's one of the things I cherish so much about our community. So my question to you guys is, do you guys think that this viewer cracked Boruto in terms of Kawaki's motivations? Let me know down in the comment section below. While you think that over, click here to watch these other videos you see on the screen right now.